Hello everybody, today we're going to look at drawing dovetails in Sketchup. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get to a front view and I'm going to draw a board. It's going to be 4 inches high, about 8 inches long, so 4 by 8 there, or actually 8 by 4, make it like that. And then I'm going to go around to the back side of it and I'm just going to pull that out we'll make this board a 1/2 inch. So I'm going to use my push-pull tool, pull it back a 1/2 inch, and there's our board. Okay, when we're doing these dovetails, it's going to be kind of the same process as you'd use when you're making actual dovetails on a board. So what I'm going to use is my tape measure tool here, and I'm going to make my dovetail a 1/2 inch long. So I want to draw a line back a 1/2 inch. That'll be my baseline, and then I want my dovetail to start a 1/4 inch from the edge. Right, and then my dovetail is going to be a 1/2 inch wide. So I'm just going to go down through here and I'm going to put a 1/4 inch space in between each one of them, and then make the dovetail a 1/2 inch wide. Okay, so I paused the video just so you didn't have to sit there and watch me draw lines. So in between each one of these here, I've got a 1/2 inch wide dovetail, and there's going to be a 1/4 inch of space in between each one. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw the actual line. So I'm going to use the protractor tool here, and I'm going to click right here on the intersection, come down here to get my baseline, and then my dovetail, I'm going to make it 10 degrees. Anywhere between 10 and 20 degrees actually makes a pretty nice looking dovetail. So I'm going to do the same thing on this side, and come down to establish my base, and then I'm going to come back 10 degrees. So that just gets us our baseline going there. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get the line tool here, and I'm going to use the line we just drew with our protractor tool, and I'm going to start at the intersection, and I'm going to draw a line down to the intersection there. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side of that. I'm going to take my line tool, I'm going to come down to the intersection on that side. So that actually creates our first dovetail here. So if I get rid of this line there and this line here, we'll kind of see it, kind of the outline of it here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the move tool and the copy. So when you click on the move tool and then click the control key, you'll see a plus sign appear. See, when I hit the control key, it disappears. When I hit it again, a plus sign will appear on your move tool. So we're going to use that tool to copy the lines that we just drew. So I'm going to hit the select tool here. I'm going to select the line I want to move and make a copy of it. Then I'm going to hit my move copy tool and then hit the control key, and that's going to add a plus sign. And now I can grab it here at the end point, and I'm just going to draw it, grab it, and drag it right here. So again, I'm going to hit my control key again. Then I'm going to left click on it and drag it to the next spot. Control key again, drag it to the next spot. Control key again, drag it to the next spot. We're going to do the same thing for the other line. I'm going to get my selection tool here and select the other side of the dovetail. I'm going to grab my move tool and hit the control key and grab it up here at the intersection. Take it and make a copy right there. Hit the control key again, move it right there. Control key again, move it right there. The control key again, and move it right there. Okay. So now we've got the basic outlines of our dovetail. We're going to get rid of these dash lines here, but before we do that, we need to draw in a baseline. So here I'm going to come here to this intersection. I'm going to draw a line all the way down across the board. This would be your baseline of your dovetails. So now what we can do is we can get rid of all these lines here. I'm going to just left click and circle all these here, and I'm going to hit the delete key. And now I'm going to get rid of this baseline. I'm going to select it and hit the delete key to get rid of it. Now what we need to do is we're going to use the push-pull tool and get rid of the spaces in between the dovetail. Okay, so I'm going to get the push-pull tool, and I'm going to click on the edge here, and I'm going to push that in, because since my board is 1/2 inch, I'm going to push it in 1/2 inch, and I'll make that disappear. Now the rest of these I can just double click, and it'll get rid of that board there. If it was only this easy in real life, right? Okay, so now we have our basic dovetails there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to circle this here, and I'm going to create a component out of this board here. make sure I get the whole thing. I'll right click on it, make a component. I'm just going to say side board. Okay. Now for the other side of the dovetail, I'm just going to move this whole selection back here a little bit, and I'm going to create another board here. So for the other side of the dovetail, I'm going to do pretty much the same size board. I'm going to do a 4-inch board here, so I'm going to get my rectangle tool, and I'm going to do it 1/2 inch wide by 4 inches tall. There. Then if I go around to the back side of this, I'm going to pull this out about 8 inches the same way we did the other one. Okay. So now I have a board. I'll go back around to the front side of it here. And what we're going to do is we're going to use the move tool, and we want to grab it right here in this corner so we can move it so the boards rest where they would naturally there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on my component here, and then I'm going to say intersect with model, and then let's see what that does. When we pull that back, we'll see we have lines where our dovetails are meeting our model. So what we're going to do is we're going to push each one of these dovetails in 1/2 inch. So on the pin board here, we can push these in. So I'm going to kind of move this around a little bit so I can see it better. I'm going to grab my push-pull tool, and then I'm just going to click on it and start to push it in. I'm going to push it in by 1/2 inch, and then again we can just double click on these, and that'll recess each one of those 1/2 inch. Now at this point we can I'm going to slide this back again a little bit more, and I'm just going to circle this whole thing, and I'll make this part a component as well. I'm going to right click and make component, and this will be side 2. And what I'll do here is I'm going to use my fill tool, and I'll make this one a darker wood here. We'll make it let's see, a mahogany. We'll fill that in with mahogany, and then the other side we'll fill it in with maybe a maple. There we go. Fill that in as maple. Now when we grab our move tool here again and grab our corner up here, we'll slide this. I got to select it first. Hang on just a second. We'll select that one. We're going to use our move tool, and we're going to grab the upper corner here and slide it in here where it intersects, and then there's our dovetails. Okay. Now we can do the same thing. Let me do this. I'll slide this back. You can do we could do some half-blind dovetails as well. So I'll slide this back, and I'll just get rid of this whole component here, and we'll go back to the front. And this time we'll draw a board that's 3/4 inch thick. So we use the rectangle tool here, slide it over, and we're going to draw one that's 3/4 inch thick by 4 inches tall. And then we'll come around to the back side again, and we're going to grab use the push-pull tool to push that out to about 8 inches. Okay. And we'll follow the same process that we used on the other one. We're going to take our move tool, grab up here on the corner, we're going to slide it till it intersects with our model there, and then we're going to right click, say intersect with model. We'll slide it back again, and we're going to use our rotate tool here a little bit to move that around, and we'll use the push pull. We'll click on that and push it in we're still pushing it in by 1/2 inch. And we'll double click on the other ones, all these there. And then we're going to we'll turn that into a component. Then we're going to right click, make component. We'll say board 2, and we'll fill that in with mahogany again. And then when we use our selection tool, we'll select that board. We'll use the move tool, grab it up here in the corner, and we'll slide it in like that. So there's our half-blind dovetails there from the front and then from the side there. Okay. So in this video we've covered how to make dovetails, regular dovetails, and half-blind dovetails. Thank you for watching.